Hey guys, Garage 79R. We're in the Yaris, and I'm going to take my fun way into work today. Use that mid-quarter bump because I drove over it the other day, and this suspension is the best thing I've driven. I think my Highlander is more violent over this bump now than this car. Like, it is so composed, and it's really blowing me away. I'm really happy with the suspension. It's a streets, comfort setup. Kind of like a comfort touring setup that I'm just going for. And I haven't found any real downfalls. I've cranked the dampers up. I realized early on I was pretty much just riding on spring. I had very little control because I had the dampers so soft. So now I got them, I think, pretty close. I'm still fine-tuning them, but I think I'm like there. I can't remember where I'm at. I think I'm at 14 from full stiff in the back and 13 from full stiff in the front, and so far feels just about right, just the right amount of control and forgiveness. And so we'll show on this bump in a little bit here. We're probably about a mile out, but I've been working on Earl. That's been a roller coaster dealing with that. Got the head back from the machine shop. It looks excellent. They put the Gen 1 valve springs in there. There's traffic. All right, I'm going to slow down a little bit. Put the Gen 1 valve springs in there. They did a competition valve job, back cut the valves a little bit, decked the surface. And set all my clearances. We went a little wider on the exhaust to handle the extra heat that you get from the turbo. And so I'm really hoping it's going to work out well. I already got it on the Gen 1 block. Put it on there with a Gen 2 valve cut, or a Gen 2 head gasket. I got a Felipro one. I just want to try it because it had the same dimensions as an OEM one. So we're going to see what that's about, because it was about a little less than half the price. So we'll see. ARP head bolts. I thought I was going to snap those off in the block, by the way. They asked for 60 foot-pounds. And, it's not like torquing wheels where you got your body weight. And I'm pulling on this thing, and I like, it felt like I was putting a lot more into them, but no, it was 60 foot-pounds. Let's see. But yeah, I'm putting everything back, basically converting this Gen 1 motor into a Gen 2. But, got the good rods and pistons. And, we'll see what happens. Unfortunately, the oil pump is not a direct swap like I was hoping. And so, on a Gen 1, the oil pump O-ring groove is on the oil pump. On a Gen 2, it's on the block. So when you try to put a Gen 2 oil pump on a Gen 1, then you have no groove at all to use for an O-ring. And I took the pump to the machine shop, and they're not sure if they can safely cut a nice groove, because it's going to be hard to prop the pump up because it's odd shaped. So I'm going to an external crank trigger. I was trying to avoid that, but it is what it is. It's not the end of the world. I'm going to still use the stock sensor. And actually, I got the crank trigger right here. I literally ordered this yesterday afternoon, and it already came today. Like, it was in the mail slot this morning. So that's, it came from Virginia, but that's still, I expected another day. And because in the process of removing the old oil pump, I did crack it, the Gen 1 pump. Here we are on the bump, about 45. So good. Yeah, I cracked the old pump taking it off the block, but I think it was already previously damaged because it broke so easily. So I might have laid it, like when I had the block laying down for storage, I might have hurt it. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Originally I wasn't planning on running it, so I wasn't taking utmost care about it, but so I got lucky. Rock Auto wanted like 70 or 75 bucks for their cheapest oil pump. And then there was like another one, I think that was like $100. Don't quote me on it. I'm going off with just kind of brief memory. So I was like, let's see what I could get on eBay. And I found brand new Toyota Aisin pump from the UAE for like $78 or $79. Shipping was a few bucks. I think shipping was like 20 bucks. But I was like, I'm getting OEM. So like, you just can't beat it. So got that coming. Got the crank trigger here. I got to build and mount, and I've already kind of roughed out where I think I'm going to put it. So Earl's coming together just a little bit slower. I was hoping to have it running by, so today's Tuesday. I was hoping to have it like potentially startable Sunday. But the whole thing with the old pump, it just, put a halt on progress. Because I had this little gap in the action in the shop, and I was trying to get it done and try to like consolidate my time. But I had to kind of pack everything back up, push the car back outside. I got work to do. So it's probably going to be a couple of weeks before I can put the car back in and work on it. But that's what's going on. Had some depressing news yesterday. I found out a friend I used to hang out with a lot, back with a whole bunch of my car buddies. There used to be a forum called Maryland Street Scene, and a lot of my friends, especially in the 20s, 37 now, came from that forum. A lot of my socializing and stuff, like I went to the car meets. We used to have a Glen Burnie meet, and we used to do that every week. It could be 20 degrees out, we're out there, and just, it was just a good time. It was just the way the world was. Now car meets are shit shows, but back then it was fun, and we didn't do anything stupid, really. I mean, we played around with grocery carts sometimes, but anyway, so our one buddy, Andre, he was more of a Chevy boy, but he was super nice, super great dude. He went on to, so his life, he actually had like a good life going on. He was working at the Jaguar Land Rover dealership down in Annapolis, and he became like the tech guy. Like, he was the guy that would like show customers how to use all the tech features and get their phones connected and all that stuff. And then Land Rover like moved him out to Nevada, I think. I think he moved twice because of Land Rover. They were like, I think it was a new dealership, and he needed somebody there, blah blah blah. So they moved him out there, and he was living this amazing life, and he's in beautiful places. And turns out he's had a real bad struggle of depression, and it took its toll. And apparently he ended it last week, and all of us found out yesterday. And it's just like, I deal with depression too. I have thoughts every day, but I'm pretty good at managing my emotions, and I'm technically bipolar, and I'm really a mess. I don't look like I'm a mess. I'm a mess, but I've gotten really good at controlling it, and it helps having a daughter. Oh man, that pretty much put the kibosh on any real thoughts, because I want to see her grow up and be awesome. So, but unfortunately, he took his life. We don't know how, but it's just, I'm not ready to start losing friends yet. I'm mentally trying to prepare myself for like family members. Like, I haven't had a death in the family for like 20 years, and essentially my dad and my uncle are kind of like next in line, and I'm trying to like sort of like prepare myself for that. But can you ever really prepare yourself? So I was like I was messaging my buddy Jerry. I was like, I'm not ready for this stuff yet. And it's just, it really, it's gonna, it just sucks. I don't know what else to say. I've been trying to distract myself. Like yesterday, I probably sat for like an hour yesterday, just trying to. You can't change it now, unfortunately. But you gotta look to your other friends, make sure they're okay. So yeah, I want to have moments like that for a while. I think I'm just gonna think about it, like all the times we hung out. And Andre, he was hilarious, and he was very competitive. Like we'd go out bowling, and it like was his whole world to make sure he did decent. You know, we used to have, I think they still exist. There's a club called PBR. And they have a mechanical bowl, and me and my wife used to go there all the time. We like almost lived there, and we took Andre there a couple times. We had a few of the guys down, and Andre loved trying to like stay on the bull. And he was just always good fun. And it's just, and he's younger than me. I think he was 4 or 5 years younger than me. So anyway, mental health, take care of yourself. And if you're having those thoughts, if you got friends, you got family, you're hurting them more than anything else. You're actually doing more damage overall. I get the idea of just ending it. I could justify all the negatives that are positives in your mind, but they're really negatives for everybody else. Just, seek help, It just sucks. But to end this on a positive note, let's try to do that. My shop, Pipe Dream Fabrication, has now become a dealer for standard racing suspension, or standard racing coilovers. So that's really cool. I'm really excited for that. I got some friends lined up that are looking to get some coilovers soon. And then hopefully, down the road, I want to get a full competition spec suspension for Earl. And then I want to look into a street setup for Floyd. And I want to try to spec something that's toge friendly. I kind of want the car a little softer than normal. We'll see. That's sometime next year. I ain't got the money for it right now. But I'm really proud to help put those products out there, and because it is really good products. And I'm super happy with this Yaris. The only times I ever really notice it, it's like you get certain like crappy roads, and that's more of a lucky guess on where the bumps are relative to your wheelbase and your spring rate. Like, the only reason this would be any better if I had like completely stock springs on it. Even then, this car used to hop on those exact roads in stock form. I remember that. So, and it's not bad. None of it's bad. It's just prominent sometimes. But on 99% of the roads I typically drive, the suspension is awesome. Half the time I forget about it. Like, it's that controlled. I feel like I've been on the same stuff forever. Like, it doesn't stand out. And it's like, oh, I gotta think about it. Like, oh yeah, this is actually composed and like driving well. So that's when your coilovers are good. When you can almost forget about them for a moment and go, oh, wait a minute. Yeah. So I'm happy to be a dealer, and we'll see how that goes. And we're making progress. It's just now, I was hoping to have Earl at least running NA, just enough to fire it up. I just want to hear it. I just want to make the noise. I still got to finish building the manifold. And I got to get some stuff to modify the turbo so it fits right. And yeah. So, it's looking like probably a month out before I get Earl sorted, just because now I got a lot of work lined up, which is good. I gotta pay some bills. And who knows, maybe one day I'll get like 1,000 subscribers or whatever, and I can start making a couple bucks on YouTube. Because if I could get to that point, all that money would go straight into like Earl. I want to build Earl into a monster, a bigger monster. So if I can find a way to supplement that, I will. But right now, I just need to get it running. If you're having issues, problems, difficulties, reach out, seek help. Hug your friends, tell them you love them. If you don't know, not everybody leads on to what personal struggle they're dealing with. Like I just admitted to some of mine. I'm gonna say I'm pretty well controlled now. You know, I used to be on meds and stuff when I was a kid. Actually, I think the meds made me worse. Cars is what's really, cars and my daughter, but primarily cars, because I've always had cars, is what helped control me. You know, I bury myself in my cars, and you know, there's stuff I want to do, you know, before I, you know. So if you're having problems and difficulties, seek help. There's always help available. Hug your friends. Love your friends.